everyone, and welcome to Gentle Yoga. I'm Heather. I'm so happy that you joined me today. I have a really special practice planned. We're going to explore some somatic yoga movements. And somatic yoga is really movement therapy for your body. It kind of retrains your muscles using repetitive movements so that you can move around with more ease, and it can be a really healing practice as well. So it's really gentle. We're low to the ground today. We will do one standing pose later using what we've learned about our body. But today's practice, you need a blanket, maybe 2 blankets. You can just grab 2 throw blankets off your couch, your mat, and some comfortable clothes. And so go ahead and grab those things, and I'll meet you back here in just a moment. So thank you for joining me. And somatic yoga is a really wonderful form of yoga that was developed in the 1900s by a movement instructor, or you could call him a scientist. And it really has a lot of repetitive, slow movements to it, but it has incredible health benefits. When we go about our daily lives, our muscles kind of develop routines and habits. And somatic yoga can help wake up some of the muscles that, in a sense, have turned off. They call it muscle amnesia, and that's good Google homework for you if you're interested in it, to learn more about somatic yoga and muscle amnesia. But some of these moves, while they're very gentle, they really show the benefit right away. And one of them what we're going to do today, hopefully you'll see that in your own body. So it's good to have blankets for somatic yoga because you're doing a lot of these poses seated, reclined. We will move a little bit once we get warmed up a bit. But for the first part of the practice, you will be pretty low to the ground. So go ahead and take a blanket and place it at one end of your mat, and that's going to be a pillow for you. Have that blanket open, not too folded up, right? So it's just creating a tiny little support, and come on down to your back. And you want to make sure that the head is just on the edge of the blanket, that the backs of your shoulders are off the blanket. And go ahead and bend your knees and feel the mat under your feet. And you can just wiggle around a little bit here, maybe sway your knees side to side. Just come to a comfortable position on your back. And then once you have settled in, just start to feel your body ground down into your mat. Notice the weight of your head on your mat, on your blanket. And allow the muscles of your face to be soft. Notice your neck, and do you feel any tension in your neck today? Just do your best to relax there. And take notice of your shoulders. A lot of times we spend our day kind of hunched over and the shoulders come forward. It's very normal. We're busy doing things with our hands out in front of us. So just start to notice, even when you come onto your back, do your shoulders feel like they're still coming forward? And just do your best to relax them. You can even take your hands to the shoulders and give them a little press down towards your mat, encouraging them to relax. And then relax your arms. Turn your palms up towards the ceiling. And take a nice deep breath in. Feel that breath rise up and exhale out. Inhale, the belly lifts up towards the sky. Draw the breath into the chest. Exhale, moving the breath down. And a few more deep breaths. Begin to notice your exhales a little bit more and really push that breath down all the way until you're empty and start to pull your belly in towards your low back. Just find a little pause once you've pushed all that breath out. And then inhale, expand your belly, draw the breath up again. Focus on that exhale, noticing how it feels to move down the chest, the belly, way down into the lower belly, empty out, and pause. Inhale, expanding your belly, draw the breath up. And exhale, watch that breath move down and out. Pull the belly in and pause. Inhale. And exhale. And then just allow your breath to move at its natural pace, but become aware of your pelvis and how it feels on your mat. And notice if you tend to tilt the tail up or tilt the tail down. Just relax heavy through the pelvis. And simply start to sway the knees over to the left. You're going to come to the outer edge of your left foot and the inner arch of your right foot. So your right glute cheek, it's probably going to come off your mat, and that's okay. You're just going to hang out here, start to ramp up that breath again, just finding equal length in your inhale and your exhale. As you inhale, go ahead and lift your knees up through the center, and exhale, drop the knees over to the right to hang out. Feeling that left glute cheek lift now. As you inhale, start to lift your knees back through center. And now lifting your feet off the ground, go ahead, hug your knees into your belly. And you push that low back into the mat, maybe rock a little side to side. So our first somatic movement is for your shoulders. You're just going to drop your knees over to the right. You're going to come into fetal pose, and you want your head to be flat. So you may have to fold that blanket up now, so it's a little thicker, so it supports your head. You want to think about your head being parallel to the ground. And reach that right arm out to the right. If you don't feel that your head is parallel to the ground with just one blanket folded, add a second blanket. You can even put a pillow there, but you want to have a nice neutral supported neck. So no tipping the head down or tipping the head up, right? Just nice and neutral. Start to reach that left hand forward towards your right hand. And you're just gonna see how far you can reach that left hand without the head moving, right? So when you start to feel your head wanna come with you, that's your stopping point. And then start to slide that left hand back the length of the right. And again, you wanna stop where you start to feel the head move back. We're gonna link this with breath. So you're gonna inhale, reach that left hand forward to your stopping point. And exhale, bring it back. Inhale, reach forward. And exhale, reach back. And sometimes when you are new to somatic yoga, you're asking yourself, am I doing this right? It doesn't feel like a lot, right? That's very normal. But I want you to start to pay attention to the movements in your body here. You're just starting to reach that left hand forward. It's that shoulder, the upper back, reaching, and then retracting. You can close your eyes and just focus on your breath, taking you through the movement, and notice how it feels in your body. You can do this 2 more times. And you may have noticed that you can go a little further. It might be very small and tiny, the change. You may be in the same place. Really, either is okay. You may feel some tension in your left shoulder. Go ahead, inhale, reach your left shoulder up to the sky. And exhale, now start to rock to the back of your head and reach that left arm way over to the left. See how far you can go, opening through your chest, but keeping your knees down. Inhale takes that left arm back up to the sky, and exhale, left hand meets the right. We're gonna repeat this move. Inhale, lifting the left arm up, rolling to the back of the head, and exhale, left arm reaches over to the left. Inhale, lift up, and exhale, release. Maybe closing your eyes and continue just to repeat this movement. Be relaxed and heavy in your legs. And this is probably one of my favorite somatic moves. If you're ever feeling tension in your back, maybe a little tightness across your upper back, some tenderness in your low back, this one is awesome. Just keep going. Take your time. Make your breath nice and full. And you may find in this move that you can open a little more. Maybe the back of that left hand meets the ground a little faster. And go 2 more times. And 1 more. reach that left arm up. And exhale, come back to your starting position. Take a breath here. And then start to roll onto your back. Just hugging your knees into your belly. Maybe rocking side to side again. And it's very normal for one side of your body to feel different. We'll do the other side and you'll feel balanced. So you can just rock over to the left. I'm going to switch to the other side of the mat so my back isn't towards you. But you're starting on your left side and positioning that blanket once again so your head can be parallel to the ground. So if you need to fluff up that blanket at all, make sure your left shoulder is below the blanket. And you're in a sense in fetal pose, right? But reach that left arm way out to the left and your left palm is up. Start to slide your right hand towards your left and just notice your stopping point. So your stopping point is as you're reaching that right hand, when do you feel the head want to come with you to go a little further? That's your stopping point. And then play around with your second stopping point. Start to slide your right hand back. Notice when the head wants to move back. That's your stopping points. Inhale, reach the right hand forward towards the left. Exhale, slide it back. Inhale, reach forward. And exhale, slide back. So you're going to keep going, maybe the eyes close. And just noticing this movement through that right shoulder, through the right side of your upper back. Everything else is still, right? The body is soft and relaxed. And already you might start to notice, hey, I can go a little further while keeping my head nice and neutral. Somatic yoga has a wonderful meditative quality to it because you're focusing on just these simple repetitive movements, and your breath plays a big part in that. So it helps to just quiet your body and quiet your mind. Go 2 more times. As you finish, start to inhale, reach your right arm up to the sky. Exhale, start to rock a little more to the back of the head, and keeping your legs neutral and down, reach that right arm over to the left. Inhale, right arm lifts up, and exhale, come back to the start. Inhale, lift up, feel the chest start to open. Exhale, right arm over to the left. And I just got a nice big crack. Inhale, lift up. And exhale, take your time, right? This isn't a race. Just be soft in your legs. And you may notice that this side feels different, right? Maybe you can go a little further sooner on this side. Maybe you feel more resistance. You're not going as deep. And that's really okay. It's very normal. But just start to become aware of that. Two more times. When you finish, just resting on that left side. And then gently make your way onto your back again, hugging those knees in. You can rock a little side to side. And just centering yourself on your mat. I'm a little crooked now. If you folded that blanket up, you can go ahead and unfold it to just create a low support, or you can release your blanket entirely from under your head and feel your head come down onto your mat. And just come back to that starting place where the knees are bent and the soles of the feet are on the mat. And just start to notice how your shoulders feel now. Hopefully they feel naturally a little more relaxed. Invite a deep breath. Exhale it out. And then gently just start to hug your knees in. And we're going to come up to our seat. So you can either roll to one side and use your hands, or you can rock up to your seats. And so coming into your seat, I'm just going to flip around so you can see my right side. Go ahead and bend your knees and walk your feet back towards your glutes a little more. You can just wrap your arms around the legs, sit up nice and tall, and start to lift your chin. So you're just taking inventory here of the range of motion you have in your neck. And so I know it's going to sound funny, but your feet have a lot to do with the mobility in your neck. And then just drop the head back to neutral. You're going to do that one more time, just so you can take a mental note of where you are. And then releasing the head back to neutral. Go ahead and release your hands behind you, just to support you. And separate your feet hips width distance if they're not already. You're simply going to slide your right foot forward until you can pivot on your right heel, right? So your right toes, think of pulling them back to your right shin. And now staying on that heel, I want you to curl your toes forward and down towards your mats. Release the toes back to neutral and pull your right heel back so the sole of your right foot is flat. Keep the entire foot down except for the toes, lift them up on that right foot. And that's our next move. Relax the toes. Inhale, slide that right foot forward, pivot on that heel, pull the toes back, and curl the toes forward. Lift the toes, slide the foot back. Foot is flat. Inhale, just lift your toes. Relax the toes. And then we can link breath. Inhale, slide forward. Exhale, pull the toes back. Inhale, curl the toes. And exhale, relax. Inhale, pull back. Exhale, just lift the toes. Inhale, slide the right foot forward. If your mat's really sticky, it's harder, right? Exhale, pull those toes back. Inhale, curl the toes forward. And exhale, release. Inhale, pull the right leg back. Exhale, just lift your toes. We're going to do this one more time. Slide forward. You could always put a blanket under that foot if it's really sticky on your mat. And slide back and lift the toes, just the toes. Keep the ball of the foot down. Awesome. And go ahead and come forward just so you can shake out your hands a little bit. Maybe roll your wrists around. And we're going to do the other side. So I know this sounds strange, but this is going to increase your range of motion in your neck. So just go ahead and lean back onto your hands. You're going to slide that left foot forward, pull the toes back as you pivot on the heel, and then curl the toes forward. Allow the foot to come to neutral, slide it back. Plant through your foot, just lift your toes. Awesome, relax. Inhale, slide the foot forward. Pivot on the heel, pull the toes back. Another inhale, reach the toes, curl them forward. And exhale, come back. Slide the foot back and lift your toes. Relax your toes. Inhale, move the leg forward. Exhale, pull the toes back. Inhale, curl the toes forward. Exhale, neutral. Inhale, slide back. Exhale, lift the toes. 2 more times. And one more. And then just lift your toes. Awesome. Come forward, shake out your hands. So walking your feet back again, you're just gonna hug around your knees, and I want you to inhale, lift the neck and back. And exhale, bring it forward nice and slow. So note, do you have easier range of movement, right? And this always amazes me that all of a sudden it feels so much better and so much more relaxed to open through the front of my neck. It's a miracle, right? Hopefully you experience the same thing. Go ahead and straighten your legs and give them a little shake. We're going to come to tabletop position onto all fours. And if you want to use a blanket to pad your knees, feel free to do so. So coming to that tabletop, really spread through your fingers. And we'll start to warm up the spine with cat and cow. Inhale, drop your belly, lift your tail. Exhale, round up. Inhale, coming down with your belly. Keep your arms strong and straight. And exhale, round. Inhale. And exhale. And 2 more. We do this move in so many of our yoga classes, but I want you to pay attention on this last one, how it feels to drop the belly and feel your shoulder blades come together. And then the belly pulls up and in and the shoulder blades spread apart. Go ahead, come back to a neutral spine and sit your hips to your heels just so that you can shake out your hands. So that awareness to what's happening internally in your body is a somatic way of thinking. You're going to come back to your tabletop. I'm just going to switch around. We're going to start with our right leg. Just reach that right leg behind you and then lift your right leg up to hip height. Right? You don't have to take it up as high as you think you do. Right? If you want to reach your left hand around and make sure your glute cheeks are still even, that's a good checkpoint to find. And think of rolling the outer edge of your right hip down and pulling that belly in and up. Maybe bringing more weight into your right hand and reach your left arm forward. If you want to keep your left hand down, that works too. But keep your gaze down so that the back of the neck is long. And breathe here. Push through your right heel as if it's going to touch the wall behind you and reach forward with your left hand. As you exhale, drop that left hand and drop your right knee down. Same thing, other side. Reach the left leg behind you. And then lifting from the strength of your left thigh, that left leg up to hip height. Again, you can reach your right hand around and notice, is my left glute cheek higher? Dropping that right hand down, push through the hands. Think of rolling the outer edge of your left hip down, lifting your left inner thigh up. Weight comes into that left hand to reach that right arm forward. Two more breaths. Exhale, drop the right hand, drop your left knee. Bring your big toes together to touch and just start to sit your hips back to your heels. Walk the hands forward as you bow down in child's pose. And if coming down with the forehead is a little too tight, just come to your forearms. Relax your head. I'm giving you permission now to drop your chin towards your chest. So if you're in that child's pose with the head down, think of tucking the chin a little more towards your chest. It's going to create length through the back of your neck. You take a few breaths here. And then rise back up to your table. From your tabletop, notice your hands under your shoulders. Walk your hands forward a full hand's length. Curl the toes under and lift your hips into downward facing dog. Allow your feet to be hips width distance apart. And you can bend your knees here. Think of your lower body like a spring. Start to really feel strength in your arms and allow your shoulders to roll outward away from your ears. Push your chest, your belly back to your thighs. Maybe the legs start to straighten a little more. And take another full inhale and exhale. Begin to drop your knees back to that tabletop. And you're going to find a blanket if your knees are sensitive here. You can bring the blanket right under your knees to span the width of your mat. You can even open it up, right? If your knees are okay, you don't need the blanket, but you're gonna be on one knee here in gate pose, so it can be nice to have that padding. I'm gonna flip around again. So in your tabletop, reach that right leg behind you, just like we did. Lift the right leg up to hip height. Inhale, exhale, bring that right knee to tap your right elbow. Go ahead, step your right foot forward, and you're on your left knee as you rise up. So this is where the blanket can add a little cushion under that left knee. Walk your right foot forward so that your right knee is behind your right heel. Now send your hips forward to bring the right knee over the right heel. You should feel this stretch through the front of your left hip, and just start to lift your heart. Relax through your shoulders. If you want a little more, reach your arms up to the sky. And breathe. Inhale, lifting that chest. Exhale. As you exhale, begin to drop your belly down onto your right thigh. And you can be on your fingertips here, just start to sit your hips back. You're gonna stop when your left hip is stacked on top of your left knee. And just pull those right toes back. You're pivoting on that heel, right? You've done this movement before. But think of growing longer and taller through your torso. Inhale, exhale, fold down. You feel that stretch through the back of your right leg. If you struggle with tight hamstrings, you can always put blocks under your hands here. As you inhale, lift up, and exhale, sole of your right foot comes down. So you're gonna bring both hands to the inside of your right foot and start to walk your hands over to the left. Now that left knee, the left toes are pointed back. You're not gonna be very happy here unless you make an adjustment, right? So you're gonna pick up your left foot and you're gonna point your left toes now to the right side of your mat and rise up. So it's as if you have this great stretch through the inside of your right thigh, and now you're gonna start to walk that right foot out and pivot on your right heel. Come back to that pivot, right? Turn your torso, your shoulders over to the left. You should stack your shoulders on top of your hips. Right hand is gonna gently come down that right thigh and keep a little softness in this right knee. Right, if you tend to hyperextend at the knee, be aware of that. That's really common if you are a dancer or a gymnast, right? We tend to hyperextend because that was involved in a lot of the moves, right? So be aware of that. Left arm reaches up, inhale, exhale, reach that left arm over to the right. And that right hand can slide down. And we're just gonna flow through that. You're gonna inhale, lift up. And exhale, reach the left arm over. Inhale, lift. And exhale, reach. Do this 2 more times. Feeling that great yummy stretch on the inside of your right thigh. Maybe go a little further. 1 more. And we're gonna hold this one. So as you reach that left arm over, hold. And you'll feel the stretch along the left side of your waist. Maybe gaze up to the left. As you inhale, lift up. Exhale, bring your hands down to the mat as you start to sit your hips back. So continuing with work on this right inner thigh, walk your hands forward Inhale, lift up so your shoulders are stacked over your hips. Exhale, you're gonna sit back down, and it's gonna be very different for all of us, right? You might not come down very far, and that's okay. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, sit back. 3 more. Inhale, shoulders come over wrists. Exhale, sit it back. Inhale. And exhale. 1 more. Exhale. Beautiful. Just start to lift up. Now start to walk your hands back towards your mat. Swing those left toes back. Start to walk your hands towards your right foot, and you can shimmy your right foot back. There's no graceful way to come out of this, right? Right knee comes back to meet your left. We take a downward facing dog in between. So walk the hands forward, lift your hips. Really feel that length build through the back side of your body. Lift your tail. Can you lift your toes? And then dropping your knees, come back to your table. Again, you can keep that blanket there. I'm gonna switch around again, just for best viewing, right? Reach your left leg behind you, lift it up to hip height. You've been here before. Inhale, exhale, step your left foot forward to replace your left hand and rise up. Walk that left foot forward. It's about a full foot's length, so your left knee is well behind your left knee. And then as you send your hips forward, that left knee stacks right on top of your left heel. Lift through your chest. And breathe here. Maybe the arms reach up. Inhale. Exhale, just start to lower the belly onto your left thigh. Come to your fingertips and start to sit the hips back. Pivot on your left heel, pull those left toes back. Breathe in and exhale, fold over your left leg. Just do your best here. If it's really tight, again, blocks can come under your hands. On your next inhale, begin to lift the head. Exhale, sole of your left foot comes down. Bring both hands to the inside of your left foot and start to walk the hands over to the right. And so again, it's going to get really uncomfortable quickly on that right knee, so just swing your right toes back. Start to rise up, and you feel the stretch already through your left inner thigh. Walk that left foot forward and pivot on your left heel. Stack shoulders over hips, left hand to left thigh. Inhale, right arm reaches up, and exhale, side bend. And you're just gonna take your time here, right? You know already that the more you repeat this move, the more your body remembers it, the deeper you'll go. 2 more. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. You're going to hold now. Reach that right arm over to the left. Maybe gaze up to the right. Remember, don't hyperextend at that left knee. Little micro bend. And inhale, lift up. Exhale, just lean forward. Hinge at your hips. Bring your hands down. Walk your hands forward a bit and shift your weight forward so shoulders come over wrists. It's okay if those left toes come forward with you too. And then you're gonna sit the hips back, back, back. See how far you can go. Inhale, lift up, shoulders come forward. Exhale, sit it back. Inhale, come forward. Exhale, sit it back. And 2 more. Great job. Rising up, walk your hands back. Start to walk them towards your left foot. You're gonna turn your right toes to the back of your mat. Hardest part is to shimmy that left foot back. Bring it into your table. We take downward facing dog. Lift your hips. And 3 breaths here. As you exhale, look to your hands, bend your knees, and start to walk your feet forward. And just easy fold in half here. Relax. You can bend those knees even more. Maybe you sway. And it's only taken us this long to stand, but we're going to do one standing pose. Right, start to rise up. Take your time. Come into mountain. And I've chosen triangle pose today because it incorporates a lot of the movement and the opening that we've accomplished so far. So in triangle pose, your chest is open, the shoulders are open, the hips are opening. It's a really nice pose. And the neck is important, right, in triangle pose. So step your right foot back and turn your right toes to face about 2 o'clock. And then you want to align your left foot so the left heel draws a straight line to the arch of your back foot. Turn your torso to the right and open your arms out to the side. So you want your wrists in line with your ankles. So widen your feet if that's not happening for you, or bring your feet in if you're too wide in your stance. Bring your hands to your hips and just push your right hip back, and the fold is going to come from that left hip. Little micro bend in your left knee. Remember from that gate pose we did. Left hand down and right arm reaches up. Stack your shoulders. Feel open and broad through your chest. And breathe. Your feet, your legs are strong. And so thinking about your neck, equal length on the right and left side of your neck, the top of your head reaching forward. 2 more breaths. Beautiful. Start to bend your front knee, that left knee, and rise up. Turn both feet to face the side of your mat. And we're just going to go the other way. So right foot turns to the back of your mat now. Left toes turn in. You can check your alignment. Right heel to the middle of your back foot. Arms out. Wrists in line with ankles. And then just start to push that left hip back. Reach that right hand, the right side of your waist forward. Right hand gently comes down and actively reach your left arm up. Find that neutral neck. Top of the head reaches forward. Little micro bend in your right knee. Two more breaths. Beautiful. Bend that right knee. Push through your feet. Rise up. Turn both feet to face the side of your mat and bring your feet in closer. There's your dance move for the day. Right. Inhale, reach your arms up to the sky. And exhale, fold it down. Bend your knees. Come onto your knees and your shins. And you're going to come onto your back. So if you want to use that blanket as a pillow, just open it up so it's not too high. Right. And come on down. So just your head is on the blanket. Your shoulders are in front of the fold. And we start with a spinal twist on our backs. Hug your knees in. Knees are going to go to the left. And just for the sake of coming into this with the knowledge we have from our somatic movements, reach your left arm out to the left and start to rock over to the side of your head. Reach your right arm over. And as you inhale, reach the right arm up to the sky. Exhale, start to roll to the back of your head, and that right arm reaches out to the right. You can always push through your left elbow to lift that left shoulder blade up, and think of it moving to the left so that it's easier to bring the backs of the shoulders down. You can always put a blanket under this right arm if it's just not wanting to come down. You can stay neutral in your neck or turn the gaze over to the right. And just allow your body to be heavy. As you inhale, lift that right arm up, and exhale, come back to your left side. Hands to knees, roll onto your back, and you're just going to drop the knees over to the right in fetal pose. Reach that right arm out to the right, and your left arm comes on top. Inhale, lift the left arm up. Exhale, start to reach that left arm over to the left, and you can rock to the back of your head. Again, you can push through that right elbow to lift the right shoulder blade up, move it out to the right a little more. That's going to help your back, your upper back come down. Head is neutral, or maybe the head turns to the left. Begin to bring your head back to neutral if it's turned. Inhale, reach that left arm up. Exhale, bring your left arm over to the right. Hug your knees to your belly, roll onto your back. You're just going to rock a little side to side, maybe circles with the knees. Drop your feet to the mat. And just open your knees out to the side so the soles of your feet come together in a reclined butterfly. We're just going to stay here for a few breaths before coming into that more traditional Shavasana, but just allowing the hips a chance to relax here. This is a really nice position to soften your low back as well. And maybe you want to stay here for Shavasana, but push through your elbows and tuck your right shoulder blade under, your left shoulder blade under, and then open your arms out wider to the sides and relax through your shoulders. And think about how the shoulders feel, right? Have they started to cave back in and forward again? And how can you adjust so that they still feel relaxed? Decide if you want to keep your legs in this position or simply just close your thighs together and straighten your legs towards the top of your mat. Taking up some space and relax through your legs and your feet. Allow your body to be grounded into your mat. And scan your body and notice maybe where you're tensing, perhaps in your forehead or your jaw. Soften through your legs. And then begin to sense your body, sense your hands and your feet, and just invite some small movements into your toes, your fingers. Reach your arms overhead and take a giant stretch. Go ahead, flex your feet, push through your heels, bend your knees, and hug your knees back into your belly. Choose a side to roll over to. Don't overthink it. And then use your hands to lift you up to a seat. And come into an easy cross-legged seat, Sukhasana. If you want to sit on a folded blanket, feel free. Just allow your spine to be tall and join your palms together at your heart. Taking a moment to thank yourself for coming to your mat today. To really just pay attention to your body, your breath, your mind. And I thank you for sharing your practice. I wish you a wonderful day. Namaste. Thank you for joining me.